Hey, what's up guys? John here. In 2022, there were 15,000 auto repossessions that occurred every single day, and that number has begun to skyrocket due to what's actually going on with interest rates and this economy. Now we're seeing more repossessions occurring on a daily basis than we saw during the great financial crisis in 2008 and 2009, and I believe what we're going to see next is going to be unreal. Many people are talking about the residential real estate market, commercial real estate, credit card debt, consumer debt, inflation. All those things are extremely important, but let's not forget, when one loses their car, they lose their ability to pay rent, lose their ability to pay the mortgage, lose their ability to go to the office, lose their ability to pay their credit card bills or student loan bills, and lose their ability to stimulate the U.S. economy. This is the first domino to fall. This is going to be unreal, and I'll leave all the facts pinned in the description below this video. Drop your comments below, I'll read them all, and I'll pin the best comment. Hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this video to educate more people about what's actually going on in the U.S. economy. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share it with one other person. Today's video is sponsored by GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you want to fix your credit to position yourself for what I believe is going to be a lot of opportunity, a lot of distress is going to be coming in this market. A lot of people are going to make a lot of money in the next couple of years by positioning themselves now. So if you need help fixing your credit, we'd love to help you. Now take a look at this. So 2022, 15,000 repos a day. 15,000 repos a day. This was August 9th, right? Well, now, this came out yesterday. More auto loans are delinquent now than at the height of the Great Recession, right? 80% of all cars today have an auto loan. So you think about that. When you're driving home from work and you see all the cars in the freeway, 80% of them have an auto loan. When you're driving in your neighborhood, you look at all the cars in your neighborhood, 80% have an auto loan. When you go into your grocery store and you look out into the parking lot, you see 100 cars, 80 of the 100 have a loan attached to them. Well, look at how these loans have changed in just the last 3 years, so you can get a clear idea of where people are. In 2019, the average auto loan was $19,408. Well, now the average auto loan for a used car is $29,405. So the cost have increased 50% for used cars, 50% on a monthly schedule. For new cars, 110%. 110% loan balance. Unbelievable. In 2020, 39.3 million used cars were sold in the U.S. Not new. This isn't a combination of new and used. This is just used. 39.3 million cars. So you think about, if you look at new cars as well, you look at 2021, you look at 2022, and so far in 2023, you're probably looking somewhere around 100 million cars combined that have sold in the last 3 years, right? It's a big, big number. And the average loan to value, 125% for used cars. And it was up, it was 112% just 3 years ago. So you think about that. A car, 125% over the sticker price. So you owe 25% more than the car's actually worth. That's absolutely unbelievable. And we have $1.55 trillion in outstanding auto loan debt. This was about 2 months ago, a little over 2 months ago. Now it's probably closer to 1.6 trillion. And look at where consumers were. In 2019, the average car payment was $398 a month, right? $398 a month. Now the average car payment is $736 a month. So when you look at how much traditional insurance would be for a car, an everyday car, might be $250 a month, right? You look at gas, maybe $50 a week. So $736 plus $250, you're looking somewhere around $1,000 a month, plus $200 a week or $200 a month for gas, maybe $1,200 to $1,300 a month for the average person. That is absolutely crazy. That doesn't include repairs, doesn't include oil changes or new tires or anything like that. $1,200, $1,300 a month, right? Well, 1 in 6 Americans has a car payment north of $1,000 a month. So when you add in car insurance and add everything, you're looking at $1,500, $1,600 a month. Like, who can afford that, right? Well, a lot of people thought they could the last few years when stocks were skyrocketing, crypto was skyrocketing, people were getting rich in Dogecoin and selling JPEGs. Everyone was getting rich, right? So people thought, hey, this is never going to end. Student loans were optional, they still are. A lot of bills, utility bills, all of these bills are optional. So people just had a ton of money they were just sitting on. Even moratoriums on evictions and moratoriums on foreclosures on mortgages. So people were just stockpiling into these loans. And now what we're starting to see is that economy changing. U.S. jobless claims hit 20-month high. Evictions are starting to soar, right? This just came out. This came out yesterday. Evictions soaring. Now stores Stores are seeing what's going on. They're looking at this and they're saying, we're seeing theft, just like you are. Probably turn on, you go on TikTok, go on social media, and you're seeing all of these people stealing all of these items from stores. It's not just San Francisco, it's a lot of different locations. The reason for it is they're stealing because they have to steal. They're stealing because they need to get it in to sell it to make enough money to live in most cases. And so these stores are saying, you know what? We got to limit store entrances. We have to hire security guards. We have to restrict the number of items at self-checkout stands, put fewer high-value items on shelves, and securing razor blades in containers where it'll make a noise if it's opened. Is that the sound of an economy that's flourishing that the media is selling to us? I don't think so. Well, look at how this it's a very interesting dynamic. When Jerome Powell increases interest rates, I believe a lot of people just say, okay, he's increasing interest rates, problems for commercial real estate, problems for adjustable rate mortgages. No, this also impacts a lot of auto loans and credit card bills. So a 1% increase on a $725 car payment would be at about $21 a month. Might not sound like a lot, $21 a month, but this came out in 2022. And so Jerome Powell's increased interest rates 13 times, on average about 25 basis points each. And so, or a little bit more than that on average. So you start to look at that, people are paying more for their car. They're paying more for car insurance than they were 3 years ago. And Americans owe $1 trillion in credit card debt. And this all kind of plays into what Jerome Powell's doing and how this is going to be the greatest rug pull of all time. So this article came out also 2022, and this is from a credit counseling agency, a nonprofit. They said that their traditional client, their average client, has about $18,000 in credit card debt. And they said with the 7 or so rate increases this year, it would mean an extra $5,000 in interest. $5,000 over someone just making the minimum payments, right? And this is not including the interest that the consumer already was aware of when they signed up on the credit card, paying 20% or 25%. When they continue to hike these rates, everything gets much, much more expensive. So you think about that. It's basically a 30% tax on that debt that they paid with 7 or so rate increases. Jerome Powell increased 5 more times after that. Do the numbers. It's like, roughly half of the debt, right? They're adding about 50% of the debt on top of it. So you look at where consumers are. Consumers are in a very, very challenging position right now. And they're showing it with their actions. 55.8% of respondents are using buy now, pay later services. A lot of them, by the way, are using these services for groceries, paying utility bills, paying basic necessities. And so they're doing this. This wasn't a thing 5 years ago. This is a thing now. This is becoming normal. I'm even seeing it, like I'll go into like an app and they're like, oh, would you like to finance this? I see it all the time on Amazon. Like I'll buy something for the house and I'll be like, would you like to finance it over the next 12 months? No, right? Like they're trying to push this as a normal thing to where you're financing toothbrushes and you're financing all these different things. It's absolutely, it's a different economy, but it just shows that there's a big market for it because that's where consumers are right now. And real wages are starting to fall. So the big question you have to ask yourself is when we see this contraction in the economy and we see auto loan delinquencies skyrocketing, we're seeing these repossessions that are just skyrocketing, we're witnessing something very, very big here. And this is all happening just as Jerome Powell said he's going to continue to increase interest rates throughout 2023 and keep them elevated for an extended period of time. Now, when he does this, how will this impact the job market? How will this impact everyday consumers? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be good. And we're going to start to see a lot more delinquencies and problems ahead. If you want to take advantage of this, what I believe is going to be a great opportunity for investors, I always try to see the positives. I mean, this isn't a positive thing for America. Nobody wants to see this for America. But I see the positives, just in general in life. If you want to, get a car, if you want to invest in real estate, you want to do something, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be forced to sell. Whether it be real estate, whether it be watches, people are going to have to sell things like they did in 2008, 2009, 2010 to try to make ends meet. And who capitalized then? It was the people that had a game plan, they had cash, they had credit, they positioned themselves, and they went out there and took action. And we saw great fortunes created during the great financial crisis and also great fortunes lost. But on this channel, I've been warning about this for the last year and a half, saying this is the greatest rug pull of all time. And I said this clearly. Since 1776, the last 250 years, they printed 40% of all dollars in the last 3 years. 40%. So they just printed endless money, made all bills optional, And then you had the smartest, most powerful, wealthy CEOs all liquidating their stocks in late 2021. And I said this, and I said, why would the smartest people in the room be selling at the height if they thought that everything was going to continue to run? This is a rug pull. Things are about to change. Some people listened, but I believe over the next couple of years, there's going to be opportunities for those that did. If you want to fix your credit, you want to position yourself, we'd love to help you at greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. We're going to see huge opportunities, I believe, in commercial real estate, residential real estate, auto loans. We're going to see it across the board. Drop below. Let me know your opinion. Hit the like button. Subscribe here. Also on my second channel. It's a highlights channel in the podcast. And add me on IG for short form content and other content I definitely won't post here. Catch you guys in the next one.